Hi everyone, welcome to our latest tuned in video, and this is going to fit into our series of creativity. So hopefully you've been following all of our posts on social media and you've seen a little bit about what we're trying to get at, but we'd love to just encourage you guys to be creative and to use that to connect with God. And so today I'm here with Richard from Scripture Union. So perhaps we can start off by you introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about what you do at Scripture Union.
Of course. So I'm Richard, and titles are never that important, and the longer they are, the less important you are. So I am the National Sports Mission Leader for Scripture Union, which is around helping churches engage with children and young people through sport and part of our Revealing Jesus framework.
Amazing. That's so cool. National sport, like,
I know.
That makes you sound very important.
I'm not.
Oh, fab. So obviously we're talking about creativity. Can you tell us like a little bit about how you enjoy being creative within sport? And I guess like how that feeds into your faith. Obviously you work with Scripture Union, and so there's elements there, but maybe you could touch about it in your kind of personal relationship with God as well.
Yeah, of course. There's one of my favorite phrases is, I believe that the language and activity of sport and faith naturally collide. And that is pretty fundamental to kind of how I operate and then how that's outworked through Scripture Union. So God is all around us. It's almost, we are signposting others to God. And as a Christian, it's no good me studying God. I need to be in a place and open to encounter God. I believe that I encounter God through all of creation. I love also rambling and a bit of wild camping and sitting on hilltops. And that's a brilliant part of creation for me. But equally, I think sport in its full breadth. So we're not talking about, just the hyper competitive, rugger on a Saturday or, hockey sticks. It's the full bit of sport, adventure sport, informal sport, that God is absolutely in those moments of creativity. So that's both in the coming together of people. So we're made in God's image. We all are. Some of us recognize it, some of us are yet to recognize it. So when people come together, which sport does fantastically, we'd expect to encounter our creative God in that moment. But there are also bits of sport and games where we're trying to be creative. I like a bit of cricket. I've been watching a bit of 100 balls. Cricketers have only learned to play these fancy new shots, which when I was a kid, no one was playing, by mucking about and trying it and being creative with a cricket bat. So every time that moment of creativity comes, for me, it's a bit of going, oh, yes, we are creative beings made in the image of God. Thank you, Jesus. And there's kind of the touch point. And it can be on a very elite level, but it can also be on that moment where you nutmeg your mate for the 75th time. And we're just mucking about and playing. But there's something around where we're creating something within this wonderful sphere of sport and games.
I love that. That's so awesome. I think it's one of those things, as someone who isn't elite in sport in any sense of the word, it's so encouraging to hear that actually it can just be mucking about, that you're just having fun, and how God can be so present within that. And so, yeah, I love all that you've said. That's so cool. So in light of all those things, like, what would your advice be to young people who want to use, I guess, the area of sport, obviously very broad, but use sport to express their personal worship and spend time with God? But also, how would you encourage young people who want to use their gifts to share their faith? So how might they use it in their personal worship, and how might they use it to share their faith?
Yeah. So for kind of personal worship stuff, we're all different. So this is just from a Richard perspective. For me, it's about taking a moment and recognizing and acknowledging and consciously being aware of God in the moment, whether that's going on a long bike ride, whether that's on the skateboard in the park, whether that's climbing, rock climbing, or playing a game of rugby, or playing with your mates in the park on the frisbee. It's kind of just taking that moment of going, this is brilliant. God created me and us to play with others. Thank you. So there's that moment of almost recognizing that there's something special going on, which is a gift from God to us. And that for me is a moment of worship or a moment of thanks. I love music as creativity. I often struggle to encounter God in a sung worship moment, but to encounter God outside playing feels really natural. But you have to just take a moment, take a breath, and acknowledge that he's there in those moments. So there's my personal reflection is that. And then I think using my gifts is going, well, using your gifts isn't about being an elite player or being the best. It's purely about going, God's given me this interest and passion. I'm going to go for it. Let's absolutely go for it and enjoy it the best I can, and practice, train as much as I feel I want to, and I'm able to. But whether I'm playing a bit of, I don't know, the lowest level rugby at all, there's still a sense of God's placed me here. I will do the best I can as a follower of Jesus in this moment, and therefore my life and my words are God's. And that then just makes you perform a bit differently. Rugby is my sport. I'm a bit old and knackered now. That doesn't mean you go soft on the rugby pitch. You still absolutely thrash into someone over a ruck, or you put your hardest tackle you possibly can in. So it's not about softness, but it's about going, part of my worship is doing this the best I can and recognizing that other people are watching it. So I'm going to be salt and light in this very moment. And I trust God that as I use my body and I use my words, that people will be intrigued, and I'll know when to be really brave or when to listen. And that then is my evangelism, outreach, mission, whatever we want to call it, in that sports place. Again, whether it's the games area in the park or the skate park or the sports pitch, for me, they're all equal.
They really are. They really are. I think it's so easy to be put off the word evangelism, thinking that, oh, it's got to be I approach someone on the street and have a conversation with them. But actually, it's so nice to hear from you as well that that we can just show Jesus to others where we are, and how like whatever we're doing can really play into that. That's so cool. I feel really inspired actually to go and have a go at a sport, or to just, for me, it was always horse riding and a bit of like netball, things like that. And actually, yeah, it is just a real opportunity to be Jesus' disciple as well, without necessarily overthinking it or overcomplicating.
No, I agree. I wouldn't like the horse riding. Scares me witness. Horses scare me. So when I'm out and about, I try and dodge horses, but I understand it. So sitting on the horse and setting out on a little, an adventure, there's my place of encounter. How brilliant is that? I'm within God's creative world, sat on one of his created animals. There's kind of that moment to pause and go, actually, I'm going to remember God in this point. I'm going to be thankful to God. I'm going to praise God in this piece. And it's nothing more complicated than that. And if I'm doing it with other people, then there may or may not be the opportunity to speak about Christ. I'm not going to force it, but I'm recognizing that this is part of God's creation, and I'm just here for that moment. Yeah. Of
course. Yeah. And you can never underestimate either what people will take away from just you being a follower of God. Like people notice. And so it's really important to just, I don't know, to be able to just accept that actually our actions make a big difference as well. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your insights. I really appreciate that. And it's lovely to hear of so many different people sharing their ways of being creative as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Richard. Really appreciate it. And for everyone who's watching, I hope you'll be inspired by this video and that you will take this opportunity to go and have a look at some of the other ones and some of the other ways that we've talked about in our creativity series. So thank you for watching. Bye, guys.